Hello everyone, it's Daz, and this week's discussion is on the film Venom. I won't use any pictures because chances are I could get a copyright strike, but even mentioning it I could, so let's get into it. If you have not seen the film and you plan on seeing the movie, I recommend watching it first because there will be some spoiler alerts. So a brief summary of Venom. It follows Eddie Brock, a investigative journalist who lives in San Francisco. He is finally making a comeback after he was ran out of New York for a scandal, and he is told to write a story on Carlton Drake, owner of the Life Foundation, which has a project they're looking to cure cancer with. Eddie, wanting to get the juiciest story rather than interviewing Carlton on Rockets, finds himself interrogating him about scandals with human test subjects, and this leads to Eddie being fired, the loss of his longtime relationship with his fiance, and one day he's approached by a woman that works for Carlton, and she cautions him that Carlton is taking advantage of impoverished and homeless individuals and getting them to use themselves as test subjects for this alien species known as symbiotes. Symbiotes are aliens that have come to Earth and want to take over, but they need a living body to survive through. And many of the symbiotes need to find a human match, which is similar genetically to them. If the host is not similar to them, they simply kill them. And this is why this woman is concerned, because the symbiotes just keep killing person after person. Carlton sort of sees this as the next stage in evolution. When Eddie breaks into the lab, he gets so carried away taking pictures of these alien figures that he doesn't notice that one of the women that has been kidnapped, a homeless woman he's friendly with, is in the cage, and when he sees her, he's astounded and tries to get her out. She's already been taken over, and the species inside of her transfers from her to him, and he begins experiencing nausea, superhuman strength, sensitivity to certain temperatures, a craving for raw meat, as well as voices in his head. He then learns that the creature that lives within him's name is Venom, and Venom is taking over him. Carlton Drake discovers that one of the symbiotes has been stolen, and that it's merged with Eddie, so he begins a search for him. I will stop there as far as the film goes. You can watch it, but that's pretty much the main premise of it. What I wanted to get to with it is that I see a lot of similarities between the Venom alien from Marvel Comics and demonic possession. What's interesting about it is that there is the science fiction perspective of this alien species, but the Venom creature, like a demon, cannot roam the earth without a body. It's sort of a shapeless being that's disembodied. And the symbiotes, even if they do not like humankind, they look down on them, they still need their bodies. They also will use the body of an animal. We see this in the Bible with the swine, and when Jesus cast out the demons in Legion, they went into the swine. Similarly, in the Venom film, the Venom alien goes into the dog temporarily until it can find a new host. Another similarity is the hearing voices, the cravings for raw meat. I think about stories of people who have been possessed eating insects and other sorts of creatures they wouldn't normally eat. The superhuman strength that he displays, people who are possessed to extreme degrees sometimes will experience having extreme strength that they wouldn't usually have. I think the idea of human life extension in the film is also fascinating because there are people out there who would like to extend lifetime, and usually it is some billionaire out there who has the money to throw away to research. In many ways, this blend of an alien possessive species sort of is like newer Frankenstein film that they made, finding demons their own host body that they can live through. And also, toward the end of the film, Eddie learns to coexist with Venom. They've sort of merged and become one. He's learned to cope with him being inside of him, and Venom comes out whenever is needed, and Venom does still eat people's heads off when he wants to, which is kind of a joke throughout the film. So in many ways, people who are possessed learn to live with the demons that live inside of them. And so that's sort of the themes I saw throughout the film with Venom that are similar to demonic possession. I think that whoever came up with the concept of Venom in the comics was pretty knowledgeable as far as spirituality and metaphysics go, and maybe
took from that and then blended it with science fiction aliens. But I like to know what you guys' thoughts are on characters like Venom, and of course there is the use of the black goo and everything that we see throughout comics. And to me, it was sort of like embracing the inner demon or demons that come upon one, and I think it was sort of an example of the spiritual world in that sense. But let me know what you think of it all. I hope you enjoy this video. Have a wonderful week, and God bless.